Oh, definitely, yeah. Always happy to talk about this, especially to raise awareness. I think in terms of like the dark thoughts and feelings, I think the first one is just sheer desperation, desperation of just wanting it to end, the agonizing numbness. I guess one, I think this is changing, but one I think misconception around depression is it's infinite sadness, and it's actually not. I think that the term depressed, I mean, literally, when you depress something, it sinks in. And I do wonder whether that primes us to imagine it's just a sinking of our feelings and we're feeling low. My experience with depression was it was the absence of all emotions, and emotions are what make us human, and depression robs us of that, and that leaves you in a very desperate situation, longing to be sad. I wish I felt sadness, but an existence of just numbness is it's hell on earth sometimes. And so I think that's one misconception that if anybody listening still kind of has, I'd love to try to shift that, because if someone is going through depression, they're not sad. They can't just pull themselves out of it with positive thinking, because you need to restart this person having emotions, shall we say, rather than changing the emotions. And so I think that desperation was one, just sheer agonizing desperation, and numbness. They were the two overwhelming feelings, not emotions, but feelings, I guess, I was living with. And that can underpin everything that you do, every relationship you have. And I don't mean human relationships either. A relationship with work, with university, with ultimately with life. And I got to the point where I had an overwhelming sense of just wanting to end my life. And there was a weird mix of not really wanting to die. As weird as desperate as I was, I didn't necessarily want to die, but I sure as hell wanted my current life to end. And I think certainly when I was suicidal, that's where I think I would land on that side. I wanted my life to end, but I didn't want to die. Kind of a slight nuance between the two. And so I think that they were the two feelings I experienced, and the best way to visualize it, I think, is I felt like I was in the middle of the ocean, on a pitch black night, no moon, no stars, no point of distance on the horizon. It was just nothing. It was an abyss, and you're in the middle on your own, and the overwhelming feeling of size, enormity of this ocean that's around you, of nothingness, is all consuming. And that's the best way that I can visualize, if someone hasn't thankfully been through depression. For me, it was that feeling of just loneliness and overwhelming vastness of nothing. Very, very crushing feeling, but that's certainly what you're going through when you're smiling at someone at university and saying, "I'm fine, thanks," because it's just so difficult to explain what I've just explained when you're going through it to someone. When they say, "How you doing?" They probably don't want to be greeted with all of that